The lobby of Horizon Cinema's Seattle flagship glowed under the soft hum of neon marquee lights, the air thick with the buttery scent of popcorn and the distant pulse of a superhero movie's soundtrack. Posters lined the walls, their vibrant colors fading into the shadows of a late-night shift. The ticket counter buzzed with the last stragglers, their voices mingling with the clatter of concession trays. Nathan Carter, a 45-year-old CEO with a quiet intensity, pushed a cleaning cart. Through the chaos, his gray janitor's uniform a far cry from the tailored suits of his boardroom life. His neatly trimmed beard was scruffy, his styled hair hidden under a warm baseball cap, and a fake name tag Tom pinned to his chest. 20 years of building Horizon Cinemas from a single screen to a national chain, and here he was, clutching a mop like it was his first day. Nathan wasn't here to clean. An anonymous email had haunted him for weeks, detailing poor working conditions, unfair treatment, and plummeting morale across his theaters. Audits had failed to uncover the truth. S.O. Nathan chose the old-fashioned way. See it himself. The Seattle flagship, his pride and joy, was the perfect place to start. The night shift, quieter and less scrutinized, offered a window into the raw reality. As he maneuvered his cart past the concession stand, memories of his first theater. Job flooded, backlong hours, low pay, but a kind boss who'd given him a chance. That kindness had shaped Nathan's vision, a theater where employees thrived and customers felt like family. Now, he needed to know if that vision still held. A hushed voice broke his thoughts. "There's no other way, Sophie." Two teenage girls in theater uniforms stood behind a towering poster for the latest blockbuster, their voices low, their bodies angled to avoid notice. Nathan slowed his mopping, pretending to scrub a spot near the trash cans, his ears straining. The taller girl, Ava Reynolds, her name tag glinting, wrung her hands nervously. "This is crazy, Ava," the other, Sofa Lynn, whispered, her eyes darting toward the lobby. "We could go to jail." Ava's voice cracked. "You think I don't know that?" But Vincent's threatening to hurt Eli, my little brother. "I have to get the money." Nathan's grip tightened on the mop handle, his heart pounding. He'd expected scheduling gripes, maybe wage complaints. Not this, a robbery plot driven by threats. He edged closer, keeping his head down. Sophie's voice was urgent. "How much do you owe him?" Ava's shoulders slumped. 8,000. Hospital bills kept piling up after Ela's surgery. Mom's working 3 jobs. No bank would loan us. Vincent seemed like the only option, but now, her voice trailed off, heavy with dread. Nathan's mind raced. Eli, a sick brother. Vincent, a loan shark. This wasn't just a workplace issue. It was a crisis. Ava's voice dropped lower. "Robbing the safe is the only way. Even with overtime, it'd take months to save that much. Vincent wants it by next week, or Eli." She didn't finish, but the fear in her eyes said enough. Nathan's stomach twisted. He'd grown up watching his mother struggle with medical bills, her hands raw from double shifts. He knew the line between desperation and crime was thin, drawn by circumstance, not character. Calling security now would stop the plan, but something held him back. Ava's trembling hands, Sophie's reluctant nod. These weren't criminals. They were kids pushed to the edge. "I can't ask you to do this," Ava said, her voice barely audible. Sophie cut her off, her tone fierce. "You helped me when my family was evicted last year. You gave us your savings, no questions asked. I'm in, Ava. Just tell me what." Their voices faded as they discussed security cameras and staff schedules, their plan taking shape. "Tomorrow night," Ava whispered, "during the late superhero screening. Everyone's distracted." Sophie nodded, her voice shaky. "If it goes wrong, you run. Don't wait for me." Footsteps approached, and they girls split. Ava hurrying to the concession stand, Sophie to the ticket counter, their faces masks of professionalism. Derek Malone, the manager, strode past, his sharp eyes scanning the lobby. "Reynolds," he barked, his voice cutting through the hum. "Those counters better be spotless. Last night was a disgrace." Ava's voice was small. "Yes, sir. I'll do better." Derek didn't glance at Nathan, the janitor, but Nathan noted the tension in Ava's posture, the fear in Sophie's eyes. Something was wrong with Derek, beyond bad management. Nathan pushed his cart toward the bathrooms, his mind a storm. He pulled out his phone, accessing the employee database. Ava Reynolds, 19, hired 8 months ago. Perfect attendance, multiple Employee of the Month awards. Sophie Lynn, 18, similar record. Model employees, now plotting a crime. He needed more about them, Derek. This Vincent Russo. As he mopped, a regular, Clara, a retired teacher with gray curls, lingered near the ticket counter, her eyes on Ava. "You look tired, dear," she said softly. Ava forced a smile. "Just a long shift, ma'am." Clara's gaze lingered, sensing more. Nathan's resolve hardened. He had 24 hours to learn everything about Ava's debt, Derek's role, the theater's rod. This wasn't the theater he'd built, but it was his. To fix. The lobby lights dimmed, the night shift winding down, but for Nathan Carter, the real work was just beginning. The Seattle night pressed against the glass doors of Horizon Cinemas, the neon marquee casting a faint glow over the empty parking lot. Inside, the lobby was a quiet echo of the earlier rush, the buttery scent of popcorn lingering, the distant hum of a late movie fading into silence. Nathan Carter pushed his cleaning cart through the shadows, his gray janitor's uniform blending into the background, his fake name tag Tom glinting under the dim lights. The words he'd overheard hours ago burned in his mind. Ava Reynolds and Sophie Lynn, 2 model employees, plotting to rob the theater's safe to pay off a loan shark, Vincent Russo, who threatened Ava's sick brother, Eli. Nathan's mop moved in slow circles, but his sharp eyes tracked Ava at the concession stand, her hands trembling as she wiped down the counter. This wasn't the theater he'd built, and he needed to know how it had come to this. The lobby was nearly empty, the night shift winding down. A single customer lingered at the ticket counter, chatting with Sophie, whose forced smile didn't reach her eyes. Nathan positioned himself near the popcorn machine, pretending to scrub a stubborn stain, his ears attuned to Ava's soft mutterings. She checked her phone, her face paling as a new text lit up the screen. Nathan caught a glimpse. "You got until tomorrow, or Ally pays before." Ava shoved the phone into her pocket, her breath hitching. She reached for a small pill bottle, swallowing 2 painkillers with a shaky hand, her eyes darting toward the clock. 20 minutes left, she whispered, unaware of Nathan's gaze. The weight of her desperation was palpable, a mirror to the struggles Nathan had seen in his mother decades ago, working double shift to cover medical bills. Ava's routine was a study in endurance. She skipped her lunch break, sneaking bites of a granola bar between cleaning tasks, her movements mechanical. When a family approached the concession stand, she forced a smile, upselling combos despite Derek Malone's earlier reprimand echoing in her ears. Those counters better be spotless. Nathan watched her interact with an elderly woman struggling with the ticket kiosk, her patience unwavering as she guided her through the process. Even as Derek's voice boomed from his office, "Reynolds, move the line." Ava's shoulders stiffened, but she stayed, earning a grateful smile from the woman Clara, the retired teacher Nathan had noticed earlier. Clara's eyes lingered on Ava, sensing her strain, but said nothing, returning to her seat with a thoughtful frown. Nathan's mind churned. Ava wasn't a criminal. She was a 19-year-old drowning in responsibility. He pulled out his phone, texting Claire, his assistant, "Get me Ava Reynolds and Sophie Lynn's full employee files." Family background, medical history, anything relevant. Claire's reply was swift. On it? Anything else? Nathan hesitated, then typed. Check for complaints about Derek Malone. I need everything. He'd seen enough to suspect Derek's management was more than harsh. It was corrosive, fostering the desperation driving Ava and Sophie's plan. As the shift ended, Ava and Sophie huddled near the water fountain, their voices low. Nathan edged closer, adjusting a trash bin. I checked the security rotation, Sophie whispered, her fingers twisting her name tag. Mike takes his smoke break at 10:45 tomorrow. That gives us 12 minutes. Ava nodded, her face pale. The safe's code. I've seen Derek enter it. 5924. He's so busy yelling, he doesn't notice me. Sophie's eyes darted nervously. What if Mike comes back early? Ava's voice was firm, despite her trembling hands. We stick to the blind spot behind screen 3. The camera's been out for weeks. Their plan was meticulous, born of necessity, not greed, and Nathan's heart ached. He'd been poor, seen his mother cry over bills, but he'd had a boss who cared. Ava and Sophie had Derek. The manager himself emerged, his sharp eyes scanning the lobby. Reynolds Lynn. You're on closing duty, he barked, his smirk cruel. Don't screw it up. Ava's voice was small. Yes, sir. Derek strode past Nathan without a glance, his arrogance a stark contrast to the fear he inspired. Nathan noted Ava's flinch, Sophie's clenched fists. Clara, lingering near the exit, caught Nathan's eye, her expression troubled. That man's no leader, she muttered, her words a quiet confirmation of Nathan's suspicions. She left, her presence a reminder that others saw the rot too. Nathan's thoughts turned to his past. At 18, he'd worked in a theater, mopping floors while his mother battled debt. A kind owner had paid for her medication, a gesture that changed Nathan's life. That memory drove him now, not to punish Ava and Sophie, but to understand why. They felt robbery was their only choice. He texted Claire again. Dig into Vincent Russo, loan shark, Seattle. I need his history, connections. If Vincent was pressuring Ava, Nathan needed leverage to stop him. As Ava cleaned the concession stand, her phone buzzed again. She glanced at it, tears welling as she read another thread. Ely's school isn't far. Pay up. She sank against the counter, her granola bar forgotten, her hands shaking. Sophie approached, her voice soft. We'll get through this, Ava. For Eli. Ava nodded, wiping her eyes, but her resolve was fraying. Nathan watched, his mop still, his resolve hardening. Eli, a sick kid. Vincent, a predator. Derek, a tyrant. This wasn't just a robbery. It was a symptom of a theater broken by neglect. The lobby darkened, the last lights dimming. Nathan pushed his cart to the storage room, his mind racing. He had 24 hours to uncover the truth about Ava's debt, Derek's abuses, Vincent's reach. Horizon Cinemas was his legacy, built on fairness, but it had strayed. As he locked the closet, Clara's words echoed. That man's no leader. Nathan wouldn't let Derek's poison spread further. He'd find a way to save Ava and Sophie, not just from Vincent, but from the system failing them. The night was over, but Nathan Carter's mission had just begun. The Seattle morning cast a gray pall over Horizon Cinemas, the neon marquee dim against the drizzle, its hum swallowed by the city's waking pulse. Inside, the lobby was a quiet prelude to the day's rush, the buttery scent of popcorn faint. The ticket counter empty save for a lone employee restocking flyers. Nathan Carter, disguised in his gray janitor's uniform, scrubbed at a window near the break room, his fake name tag tongue glinting under fluorescent lights. His mop moved methodically, but his sharp eyes tracked Ava Reynolds, who sat alone at a break room table, her untouched coffee growing cold. Her trembling hands scrolled through a banking app, her face etched with despair. Nathan's heart tightened, the memory of her whispered plan with Sophie Lynn echoing, a robbery to save Ava's brother. Eli, from a loan shark, Vincent Russo. But Nathan suspected a deeper rot, and his gaze shifted to Derek Malone, the manager whose cruelty seemed to fuel this desperation. Nathan had seen enough last night. Ava's skipped meals, her painkillers, the threatening text from Vincent to know she wasn't a criminal, but a kid pushed to the brink. Sophie's loyalty, risking jail for her friend, only deepened Nathan's resolve. He needed to understand how Horizon Cinemas, his legacy of fairness, had become a breeding ground for such desperation. Derek was the key. The manager's barked orders, his smirk as Ava flinched, hinted at more than poor leadership. Nathan's phone buzzed with a text from Claire, his assistant. Ava's file. 19. Perfect record. Brother Eli. 14. Spinal condition. Recent surgery. Sophie. 18. Solid employee. Complaints about Derek dozens buried. Russo's a known loan shark, violent. History. Nathan's jaw clenched. Derek wasn't just harsh. He was sabotaging the theater's sold out as Ava left the break room. Her shoulders slumped. Nathan positioned himself near the concession stand, wiping down a counter to overhear Derek on a call in his office. "Yeah, we're cutting corners," Derek said, his voice smug through the cracked door. "These kids don't need breaks every shift and repairs. Overpriced. I pocket the difference owners too busy to check." Nathan's blood boiled. He'd implemented strict audits, anonymous feedback channels. But Derek was manipulating them, skimming budgets while letting the theater crumble. A broken camera in the back hallway, noted in Claire's report, was no accident. It was Derek's. Negligence, creating the blind spot Ava and Sophie planned to exploit. The lobby stirred as the morning shift began. Derek strode out, his sharp eyes scanning the staff. "Reynolds," he barked, spotting Ava restocking popcorn. "Your register was $5 short last night. Explain." Ava's voice was small, her hands trembling. "I must have miscounted." "Sir, I'll pay it back." Derek's smirk was cruel. "You'll pay. All right. Stay late, clean the bathrooms, no overtime." Ava nodded, her eyes downcast, but Nathan saw the tears she blinked away. Derek's demand was illegal, a clear violation of labor laws Nathan had enforced chain-wide. He texted Claire, "Pull financial records for Seattle. Look for discrepancies in repair budgets." Derek skimming. A customer's voice broke the tension. Clara, the retired teacher, at the ticket counter. "Ava, you're working too hard," she said, her gray curls catching the light. Ava forced a smile. "Just doing my job, ma'am." Clara's gaze lingered, then shifted to Derek, her lips pursing. "Some people don't appreciate good workers," she muttered, loud enough for Nathan to hear. Her disapproval was a quiet ally, a witness to the theater's rot. Nathan made a mental note to speak with her later. She'd seen more than she let on. The day unfolded, revealing Derek's reign of terror. He timed bathroom breaks with a stopwatch, berated Sophie for a smudged counter, and mocked a young employee, Ethan, for requesting time off to care for his sick mother. "You're replaceable," Derek sneered, his voice carrying across the lobby. Ethan's face fell, his resignation a mirror to Ava's fear. Nathan overheard Sophie whispering to Ava during a brief lull. "Mike's smoke break is always 10:45. We hit the safe then, out by 10:57. Ava's nod was grim, her phone buzzing with another text from Vincent. Nathan glimpsed it. Eli's. "Therapy's tomorrow. Don't test me." Ava's hand shook, her resolve fraying. Nathan's thoughts turned to his past. At 18, he'd faced a landlord's eviction notice, his mother too sick to work. His theater boss had paid the rent, a kindness that inspired Horizon Cinema's mission, a workplace where no one felt disposable. Derek's actions, wage theft, harassment, neglected repairs were a betrayal of that mission. Nathan texted Claire again. "Get me everything on Vincent Russo's network. Any ties to Derek?" A hunch nagged him. Derek's negligence seemed too convenient, almost enabling the robbery. Claire's reply was instant. "Digging now. Be careful, Dot." As the shift ended, Derek confronted Ava again, his voice sharp. "Your sales numbers are pathetic. Shape up, or you're out." Ava's voice cracked. "I'm trying, sir." Derek walked away, leaving her to clean alone, her tears falling silently. Sophie joined her voice soft. "We're doing this for Eli. Stay strong." Nathan watched, his mop still, his anger rising. Clara, leaving the theater, caught his eye, her expression grim. "That girl needs help," she said, her words a quiet challenge. Nathan nodded, his resolve stealing. The lobby darkened, the day's rush over. Nathan pushed his car to the storage room, his mind racing. Derek's abuses, Ava's desperation, Vincent's threats, they were threads in a tangled web. He had one day to unravel it, before the robbery, before Eli faced danger, before Horizon Cinemas lost its soul. Clara's words echoed. Some people don't appreciate good workers. Nathan would prove her wrong. He'd built this theater on fairness, and he'd tear down Derek's empire to save it, starting with Ava and Sophie. The night loomed, and Nathan Carter was ready to fight. The Seattle afternoon hung heavy over Horizon Cinemas, the neon marquee flickering under a sky bruised with clouds. Inside, the lobby buzzed with the pre-evening rush, the buttery scent of popcorn mingling with the hum of a blockbuster's soundtrack echoing from the screens. Nathan Carter, disguised in his gray janitor's uniform, polished a ticket kiosk, his fake name tag Tom glinting under the fluorescent lights. His mop moved in deliberate strokes, but his sharp eyes tracked Ava Reynolds at the concession stand, her hands trembling as she served a customer. The weight of her whispered plan with Sofa Lynn to rob the theater's safe to pay off Vincent Russo, a loan shark threatening her sick brother. Eli pressed against Nathan's chest. Derek Malone's toxic management had pushed them to this edge, and Nathan was determined to pull them back, but it would take precision, evidence, and a gamble on trust. Nathan's phone buzzed with a text from Claire, his assistant. Ava's file confirms Eli's spinal condition, $50,000 in medical debt. Sophie's clean, loyal to Ava. Derek's complaints, wage theft, harassment, ignored by corporate. Russo's tied to local crime, no direct link to Derek yet. Nathan's jaw tightened. Ava's desperation was rooted in a broken system, Derek's negligence a catalyst. The manager's skimming of repair budgets, his illegal unpaid overtime demands, and the broken camera enabling the robbery plan were damning. Nathan had 24 hours to act, before Ava and Sophie crossed a line, before Vincent's threats turned violent, before Horizon Cinema's reputation crumbled under a growing social media storm. A customer's post, shared by Clara, the retired teacher, had gone viral. Horizon Cinema's service is slipping. Seats broken, staff overworked. Shame. Comments piled up, some calling for boycotts, others tagging rival Starflix cinemas, whose ads taunted, better seats, better service. Nathan texted Claire, set up security for tomorrow night, discreet. I want eyes on Ava, Sophie, and Derek. Pull Lily Carter's contact, she's a former employee, fired by Derek for safety. Complaints. Claire's reply was swift. Done. Board's asking about the social media post. They want a response. Nathan's stomach churned. The board's pressure added a ticking clock, but he couldn't act rashly. He needed evidence to fire Derek, leverage, to stop Vincent, and a way to save Ava and Sophie without destroying their futures. His plan was forming. Confront the robbery, expose Derek, and offer Ava a lifeline. but it hinged on timing and trust. In the break room, Ava sat alone, her phone buzzing with another text from Vincent. Eli's therapy's tomorrow. Don't make me visit. Her face crumpled, tears falling as she clutched a photo of Eli, a 14-year-old with a bright smile despite his wheelchair. Nathan, cleaning a nearby window, caught her reflection, his heart aching. He'd seen that look on his mother's face, drowning in medical bills, saved only by a kind theater owner who'd paid her debt. That memory drove Nathan now not to punish, but to redeem. He texted Clara, who'd left a note with her number. After yesterday's shift, Mrs. Clara, I'm investigating staff issues at Horizon. Can you share what you've seen of Derek Malone? Clara's reply was immediate. He's cruel to Ava, overworks everyone. I'll help however I can. Sophie joined Ava, her voice low. Mike's smoke break is confirmed 10:45 tomorrow. We hit the safe during the superhero screening's climax. No one'll notice. Ava's nod was weary, her voice barely audible. Vincent sent another photo of Eli. He knows his school. Sophie's hand squeezed Ava's. We'll save him, Ava. I promise. Their loyalty, their fear, was a knife in Nathan's chest. He needed all eyes to pull this off. Lily Carter, the fired employee, could testify to Derek's abuses. Claire had confirmed she was willing to speak. Nathan texted Lily, I'm with Horizon's leadership. Can you meet tomorrow to discuss Derek Malone? Your story matters. Lily's response was cautious but firm. I'll be there. He ruined my life. Back in the lobby, Derek emerged from his office, his smirk fixed as he berated Ethan, a young employee, for a smudged counter. You're on thin ice, kid, Derek snapped, ignoring Ethan's protest that he'd covered a double shift. Nathan's anger flared. Ethan's defeat mirrored Ava's, a team crushed by fear. He overheard Derek on a call later, his voice smug. The owner's a dreamer, thinks employees need coddling. I keep costs down. He stays happy. Nathan's fists clenched. Derek's betrayal wasn't just personal, it was systemic, undermining every policy Nathan had built. The board's pressure loomed, Claire texting. They're pushing for a public statement. Starflix is gaining traction. Nathan replied, draft a holding statement. No details yet. He couldn't tip his hand, not until Derek was exposed. Vincent neutralized, and Ava and Sophie safe. He called his security chief, speaking low. Meet a team outside tomorrow night, ready to move on my signal. Track Vincent Russo's movements. Any sign he's near Eli Reynolds' home or hospital. The chief confirmed, adding, Russo's got a rap sheet. We're close to nailing him. As the shift ended, Ava stayed late, scrubbing bathrooms under Derek's orders, her tears mixing with the soap. Clara, passing by, slipped her a granola bar. You're stronger than you know, she whispered, her eyes flicking to Derek's office with disdain. Nathan watched, his resolve stealing. Clara's support, Lily's testimony, and his security team were pieces of a puzzle coming together. Tomorrow night, he'd step out of the shadows, not as a janitor, but as the CEO, ready to confront Derek. Stop the robbery and offer Ava and Sophie a way out. The lobby lights dimmed, the theater quieting, but Nathan Carter's plan was alive. A beacon in the dark, burning to restore Horizon Cinema's heart. The Seattle night cloaked Horizon Cinemas in shadows, the neon marquee casting an eerie glow across the empty parking lot, its hum a faint pulse in the cool air. Inside, the lobby thrummed with the fading energy of a late superhero screening, the buttery scent of popcorn mingling with the muffled roar of on-screen explosions. Nathan Carter, his gray janitor's uniform blending into the dim corners, lingered near a maintenance closet, his fake name tag Tom glinting faintly. His sharp eyes tracked Ava Reynolds and Sophie Lynn, their nervous glances betraying the weight of their plan. To rob the theater's safe to pay off Vincent Russo, A loan shark threatening Ava's sick brother, Eli. Nathan's heart pounded. His phone recording silently in his pocket. Security on standby outside. Tonight, he'd stop a crime, expose a tyrant, and offer two desperate girls a lifeline. But one wrong move could unravel everything. The lobby was nearly deserted, the last customers trickling out. Ava stood at the concession stand, her hand shaking as she wiped down the counter, her phone buzzing with a new text from Vincent. Eli's asleep in his hospital bed. Don't make me wake him. A tear slipped down her cheek, her resolve fraying. As she shoved the phone away, Sophie, at the ticket counter, caught her eye, nodding subtly. Their plan was set. Exploit a broken camera in the back hallway during the security guard Mike's 10:45 smoke break, using Derek Malone's safe code to steal $8,000. Nathan, pretending to sort recyclables, felt the weight of their desperation. He'd seen it before, in his mother's eyes, crushed by medical bills until a kind theater owner intervened. That memory drove him now, not to punish, but to save Dot at 10:40. Sophie moved first, approaching Mike with a feigned concern. "There's a weird noise in Theater 6, like a projector malfunction," she said, her voice steady despite her trembling hands. Mike sighed, checking his watch. "Fine, I'll look. Stay here." As he disappeared, Ava slipped into the back hallway, her footsteps silent. Nathan followed, keeping to the shadows, his phone capturing every move. Ava reached Derek's office, her breath hitching as she punched in the code. 5924. The door clicked open, the safe keypad glowing in the dark. Meanwhile, Sophie lingered at the security desk, her fingers fumbling to adjust camera angles away from the office, her face pale with fear. Nathan's pulse raced. Mike could return any second, and a wild card loomed. Derek, who wasn't supposed to be here. Ava opened the safe, gasping at the stacks of cash, more than enough to save Eli. "I'm sorry," she whispered, her hands trembling as she stuffed bills into a bag. Her phone lit up with another text, a photo of Eli in his hospital bed. Vincent's message clear. "Time's up." Ava choked back a sob, dropping several bills, her panic mounting. Sophie's walkie-talkie crackled. "Mike's heading back 20 seconds." Ava scrambled, her bag slipping as cash scattered across the floor. Nathan tensed, ready to intervene, when headlights flashed through the office window. Derek's voice boomed from the lobby. "Reynolds, Lynn. Who left these displays?" "Up?" Nathan's stomach dropped. Derek's unexpected return was a disaster. Ava froze, clutching the bag, her voice a whisper. "I can't do this, Sophie. Eli, I'm sorry." She sank to her knees, the money spilling around her, her sobs echoing in the small office. Sophie, at the security desk, tried to delete footage, but Mike's footsteps grew louder, his voice sharp. "Lynn, what are you doing?" The situation was seconds from chaos. Nathan checked his phone. Security was in position, but he couldn't wait. Derek's footsteps neared the office, his keys jingling. Ava's walkie-talkie crackled again. "Ava, run! Derek's coming!" Nathan stepped from the shadows, his voice cutting through the dark. "Stop right there, Mr. Malone." Ava gasped, her tear-streaked face turning to Nathan as he removed his cap, revealing himself. "Nathan Carter, CEO of Horizon Cinemas," he said, his tone calm but commanding. Derek froze in the doorway, his smirk vanishing, his hand reaching for his phone. "I wouldn't," Nathan warned, gesturing to the security officers appearing in the hallway, summoned by a discreet signal. "Nobody leaves until we sort this out." Sophie rushed in, her eyes wide, standing protectively by Ava, who clutched the scattered bills. Derek stammered, "Sir, I can explain. They're thieves." Nathan's gaze was steel. "Quiet. Ava, Sophie, step back." The lobby fell silent, the distant movie soundtrack a faint pulse. Clara, the retired teacher, lingered near the exit, having stayed late for a double feature, her eyes wide as she watched through the glass doors. Ryan, a local reporter tipped off by the viral social media post, scribbled notes from a corner, his presence an unexpected wild card. Nathan turned to Derek, his voice sharp. I've spent days documenting your violations, wage theft, harassment, skimming repair budgets. You've turned this theater into a prison. Derek's face paled, his arrogance crumbling. You can't prove. Nathan cut him off, holding up his phone. I have footage, complaints, witnesses. You're done. Ava's voice trembled, her bag still in hand. Are you arresting us? Nathan's expression softened, his tone steady. No, Ava. I heard everything Vincent, Eli, the debt. I'm not here to ruin you. I'm here to help. Sophie's arm tightened around Ava, her eyes searching Nathan's face. Derek sputtered. They're criminals. Nathan's gaze didn't waver. And you're the reason they felt they had no choice. He nodded to security. Escort Mr. Malone. Out. My lawyers will handle him tomorrow. As Derek was led away, his threats echoing. You'll regret this. Nathan turned to Ava and Sophie, the cash still scattered at their feet. The theater was a crucible, and Nathan Carter had just ignited a reckoning. Clara watched her, hand on the glass door, a silent witness to justice unfolding. Ryan's pen moved faster, the story growing. Ava's sobs quieted, her eyes meeting Nathan's, a flicker of hope breaking through her fear. The night wasn't over, but Nathan was. Ready to rewrite its ending, for Ava, for Sophie, for Horizon Cinemas. The Seattle night pressed against Horizon Cinema's glass doors. The neon marquee's glow casting long shadows across the silent lobby, its hum a faint heartbeat in the stillness. The buttery scent of popcorn lingered, but the theater was a frozen tableau, the superhero screening's echoes fading. Nathan Carter stood in Derek Malone's dimly lit office, his gray janitor's uniform shed, his CEO presence commanding despite the late hour. Ava Reynolds knelt on the floor, tears streaking her face, scattered cash from the safe around her, her bag trembling in her hands. Sophie Lynn stood protectively beside her, her eyes wide as Nathan's words. I'm not here to ruin you. I'm here to help hung in the air. Derek Malone, his arrogance shattered, was escorted out by security, his threats, you'll regret this, echoing down the hallway. The air crackled with the weight of a reckoning, and Nathan Carter was ready to deliver justice. Clara, the retired teacher, watched through the lobby's glass doors, her gray curls catching the light, her presence a quiet witness. Ryan, the local reporter, scribbled furiously from a corner, his unexpected presence amplifying the stakes. Nathan's phone, still recording, held damning evidence. Derek's wage theft, harassment, and budget skimming corroborated by complaints. And Lily Carter's testimony. Ava's voice broke the silence, barely audible. You're letting us go? Her bag, stuffed with stolen cash, felt like a noose. Sophie's arm tightened around her, her voice steady but fearful. What happens now? Nathan pulled up a chair, his tone calm but resolute. We talk about Vincent Russo, Eli, and how we end this nightmare. Ava's eyes widened, her hands clutching the bag. How do you know about Eli? Nathan's gaze was steady, his voice softening. I've been watching since I overheard. You 2 nights ago. I know about the $8,000 debt, the hospital bills, Vincent's threats. I've seen your file. Ava Perfect Attendance, Employee of the Month. You're not a thief. You're a sister trying to save her brother. Sophie's breath hitched, her loyalty to Ava unwavering. Are we fired? She asked, her voice trembling. Nathan shook his head. No, but you need to trust me. Ava, show me Vincent's texts. Tell me everything. Trembling, Ava handed over her phone, the screen glowing with Vincent's messages. Eli's school isn't far. Pay by tomorrow, or he's mine. A photo of Ely asleep in his hospital bed sent a chill through Nathan. His jaw tightened, memories of his mother's debt-ridden nights flooding back. "Vincent's done," he said, his voice firm. "I've got a team building a case against him, 48 hours of surveillance, his rap sheet, connections. With these texts, we can bury him. But I need you to press charges, Ava." Ava's voice cracked. "He'll hurt Ely." Nathan leaned forward, his tone unwavering. "Not anymore. I've got officers outside your house, security at Eli's hospital. He's safe." Sophie's eyes searched Nathan's face. "Why help us?" "We tried to rob you." Nathan's smile was sad, his voice raw. 30 years ago, I was mopping floors, watching my mom kill herself to pay medical bills. My boss paid them off, gave me a chance. I built Horizon Cinemas to be that chance for others. Derek broke that promise, but I won't. He pulled a document from his jacket, sliding it across the desk. "This is an agreement. I'll pay Vincent's debt $8,000, no interest. You repay me in small, affordable installments. In return, you help the police take him down. Sign it, and this ends tonight." Ava's tears fell, her voice a whisper. "It's too much." Nathan's tone was gentle but firm. "It's not charity, Ava. It's belief in you. Sophie, you risked everything for her. That's the loyalty I want in my team." Sophie blushed, her hand squeezing Ava's. Ava signed the document, her hand shaking, years of fear easing with each stroke. Nathan dialed his security chief, putting the call on speaker. "Move on, Russo. Miss Reynolds is pressing charges." Sirens wailed faintly through the phone, a confirmation that Vincent was being arrested. His predatory loan operation crumbling. Nathan turned to Ava and Sophie, his voice warm. "You're not fired. You're promoted assistant manager for you, Ava. Security coordinator for you, Sophie. You've shown dedication, even in desperation. Now, go home. Rest. Eli's safe." Ava sobbed, collapsing into Sophie's arms, the weight of months lifting. Nathan stepped back, giving them space, his eyes meeting Clara's through the glass. She nodded, her smile faint but proud. Ryan's pen paused, his story now a saga of redemption, not scandal. As security escorted Ava and Sophie to their cars, ensuring their safety, Nathan addressed the remaining staff, gathered in shock. "Derek Malone's gone," he said, his voice resonant. "He betrayed what Horizon stands for: fairness, respect. Tomorrow we start rebuilding. New policies, better conditions. You're not disposable." Ethan, the young employee Derek had berated, nodded, hope flickering in his eyes. Clara approached Nathan, her voice soft. "You did right by those girls," she said. "This place needed you." Nathan's throat tightened. "It needs all of us." Outside, the neon marquee glowed, a beacon of renewal. Ryan slipped away, his article already taking shape. Horizon Cinema's CEO goes undercover, saves employees from desperation. Nathan stood alone, the city's pulse around him. Vincent was down, Derek out, Ava and Sophie safe, but the theater's soul was still wounded. He texted Claire. "Draft new policies, living wages, immediate health insurance, emergency fund. Board meeting tomorrow." Claire's reply was instant. "You're changing the game. Proud of you." The night was over, but Nathan Carter's work was just beginning. Horizon Cinemas wasn't just a business. It was a promise, and he'd fight to keep it. For Ava, for Sophie, for every employee who deserved better. The marquee lights flickered, and Nathan walked into the dawn, ready to rebuild. The Seattle dawn bathed Horizon Cinemas in a soft glow, the neon marquee shimmering against the morning mist, its hum a quiet promise of renewal. Inside, the lobby buzzed with the early shift, the buttery scent of popcorn mingling with the clatter of ticket printers and the chatter of customers lining up for a matinee. Nathan Carter stood near the concession stand, his casual sweater a stark contrast to the CEO who'd revealed himself last night, stopping Ava Reynolds and Sophie Lynn's desperate robbery and firing Derek Malone for his toxic management. The air felt lighter, the staff moving with cautious hope, their fearful glances replaced by tentative smiles. Nathan's sharp eyes tracked Ava, now wearing an assistant manager's badge, as she trained a new employee. Horizon Cinemas was rising from its ashes, and Nathan was determined to make it a place where no one felt pushed to the edge again. The confrontation had sent shockwaves through the theater. Derek's exit, Vincent Russo's arrest, and Nathan's promise to Ava and Sophie had sparked a transformation. Nathan had worked through the night with Claire, his assistant, drafting new policies, living wages, immediate health insurance, flexible schedules, and an emergency assistance fund to ensure no employee faced debts like Ava's. The board, initially, rattled by the viral social media post decrying Horizon's service, and approved the changes after Nathan's impassioned pitch. Happy employees mean happy customers. This is our legacy. The lobby reflected the shift-repaired seats, updated security cameras, and a feedback board where customers pinned glowing notes. Best service in years, and Horizon's back. Ava, her face brighter despite the shadows under her eyes, guided a new hire, Mia, through the concession stand. "Always offer a smile," she said, her voice steady. "It makes a difference." Mia nodded, her enthusiasm a spark of the theater's new energy. Sophie, now security coordinator, patrolled the lobby with a tablet, checking the upgraded camera feeds, her confidence growing. Clara, the retired teacher, sat at a corner table, her tea steaming, her gray curls catching the light. She caught Ava's eye, her smile warm. "You're a natural leader, dear," she said, her voice carrying years of wisdom. Ava blushed, her assistant manager role a lifeline she hadn't dreamed possible. Nathan approached Sophie, leaning against the ticket counter. "The new cameras working?" he asked, his tone casual but attentive. Sophie nodded, her eyes bright. "All online, sir. I've set alerts for any blind spots." Her initiative, born from the robbery's chaos, impressed Nathan. "You're making this place safer," he said, pride in his voice. Sophie hesitated, then added, "I didn't think we'd get a second chance. Thank you." Nathan's smile was warm. "You earned it, Sophie. Keep leading." He thought of his mother, saved by a theater owner's kindness, and knew he'd made the right call. The social media storm had shifted, the original complaint buried under praise. A local activist, Sarah, posted a viral review. Horizon Cinemas fired a toxic manager, saved 2 employees, and revamped their policies. This is leadership. Customers returned, drawn by the story and the improved experience. A man in a red jacket, who'd once complained about broken seats, tipped Ava generously. "This place feels alive again," he said, his voice gruff but kind. Ava's chest swelled, her fear of failure easing, but not all echoes were kind. Derek, now banned from Horizon, had posted anonymously online, "Carter's a fraud. Horizon's a sinking ship." The comment gained a few likes, likely from former allies, but the community's support drowned it out, with Clara herself replying, "Horizon's thriving because someone cared." Ava and Sophie led a staff training session after the rush, a new initiative to foster teamwork. In a cordoned-off seating area, Ava spoke, her voice raw but strong. "I know what it's like to feel trapped," she said, her eyes meeting Ethan's. The employee Derek had berated. "I almost lost everything, but someone believed in me. We're a team now, help each other, speak up." Sophie added, "The new feedback board's there for you too. No one gets ignored." The staff nodded, some tearfully, Ethan's hand rising. "I stayed because of you two," he said, his voice thick. Nathan, observing from the back, felt pride swell his vision. was taking root. The board's approval wasn't unanimous. Some feared the costs. Nathan countered with data. Employee retention up, customer satisfaction soaring, revenue climbing past Starflix Cinema's faltering discounts. Claire texted, social medias. On fire, 90% positive. Starflix is losing ground. Nathan smiled, replying, rollout policies chain-wide. This is just the start. He approached Ava, who was restocking popcorn. You're doing great, he said. Ava's eyes shone. I was. Scared I'd let you down, she admitted. Nathan's tone was firm. You're proving me right. Clara lingered, her tea cold, her gaze on Sophie. You're the future of this place, she told her, her words a quiet anchor. Sophie nodded, her resolve firm. Outside, Nathan stood. Under the marquee, the city's lights twinkling. The theater was healing, but Derek's bitter post lingered, a reminder of challenges ahead. Ryan's article, published that morning, had gone viral. Horizon Cinema's CEO saves employees, redefines leadership. Nathan's phone buzzed Claire again. Board's fully on board. Next steps? Nathan's reply was simple. Keep building. Trust. The lobby glowed, a testament to what fairness could achieve. Ava and Sophie weren't just employees. They were proof that second chances worked. Nathan Carter had drawn a line, and Horizon Cinemas would rise stronger, one ticket, one smile at a time. The Seattle evening draped Horizon Cinemas in a golden haze, the neon marquee casting a warm glow across the bustling parking lot, its hum blending with the city's vibrant pulse. Inside, the lobby thrummed with a lively rush, the buttery scent of popcorn swirling amid the chatter of customers and the clatter of ticket scanners. Nathan Carter stood near the ticket counter, his casual sweater a quiet contrast to the CEO who'd upended a toxic culture nights ago, saving Ava Reynolds and Sophie Lynn from a desperate robbery and firing Derek Malone for his abuses. The theater sparkled with renewed energy-repaired seats, gleaming counters, and a feedback board brimming with praise. Nathan's sharp eyes followed Ava, now assistant manager, as she guided a customer with a smile. Horizon Cinemas was no longer just a theater. It was a beacon of fairness, its story echoing far beyond Seattle. The transformation had ignited a firestorm of attention. Ryan's article in the Seattle Times, Horizon Cinema's CEO goes undercover, saves employees, had gone viral. Shared thousands of times with comments like, "This is what leadership looks like." And Horizon's my new favorite spot. Social media buzzed, the original complaint post drowned by support, amplified by Sarah, the local activist, whose tweet read, "Horizon fired a tyrant, uplifted its staff, and listened." Bravo, Nathan. Carter. Revenue soared, outpacing Starflix Cinema's desperate discounts. Their ads, better seats, better prices, fading against Horizon's authenticity. Clara, the retired teacher, sipped her tea at her usual table, her gray curls catching the light, her smile proud as she watched Sophie, now security coordinator, check camera feeds with confidence. Nathan's phone buzzed with a text from Claire. His assistant. Channel 7 wants an interview. Your call. He hesitated, the spotlight both a gift and a burden. The board, once skeptical, now lauded his reforms: living wages, immediate health insurance, an emergency fund, but Starflix's lingering competition and Derek's bitter online jabs kept Nathan vigilant. A recent anonymous post, likely Derek's. Horizon's a PR stunt. Carter's fooling you all. It gained traction among a few disgruntled former staff, but the community's trust held firm, with customers like Clara countering. I've seen the change. Horizon cares. Nathan typed back to Claire. Book the interview. Let's share the truth. At the concession stand, Ava served a family, her assistant manager badge gleaming, her smile genuine. A woman in a green scarf, who'd once complained. about Derek's rudeness, tipped generously. "You've turned this place around," she said, her voice warm. Ava's eyes shone, her fear replaced by purpose. Sophie approached, her tablet glowing with security data. "All systems green," she said, her confidence a far cry from the girl who'd risked jail for Ava. Nathan nodded, pride swelling. He thought of his mother, saved by a theater owner's kindness, and knew Ava and Sophie were his legacy's heart. The interview took place in the lobby, cameras set against the vibrant posters, the marquee glowing through the windows. The reporter, a sharp-eyed woman named Karen, leaned forward. "Why go undercover, Mr. Carter?" she asked, her tone probing. Nathan's voice was steady, raw. "I grew up poor, watching my mom work herself sick to pay medical bills. A theater owner helped us, changed my life. I built Horizon to be that for others, but we were failing our staff. I had to see why." Karen scribbled, her eyes narrowing. "Some call it a publicity stunt. Your response?" Nathan's smile was resolute. "It's not about headlines. It's about Ava, Sophie, every employee who deserved better. We're proving it with actions, wages, insurance, support." Asterisk. The interview aired that night, clips spreading online, Horizon's story resonating nationwide. Customers returned, some drawn by curiosity, others by trust. A man in a blue cap, who'd boycotted after Derek's reign, bought tickets and smiled. "Feels like a community now," he said to Sophie, who nodded, her tablet steady in her hands. But Derek's shadow lingered. Another post surfaced. Horizon's fake. Carter's hiding the real story. Ava showed it to Nathan, her jaw tight. "He's still out there," she said, her voice low. Nathan's eyes narrowed. "He's noise, Ava. Focus on the team." He meant it, but the post nagged him Derek's allies could stir trouble. Ethan, the employee Derek had crushed, worked the ticket counter, his smile brighter. Clara approached, her tea steaming. "You're doing well, young man," she said, her voice kind. Ethan nodded, his voice soft. "Ava and Sophie gave me hope." Nathan overheard, his chest warming. The theater was healing, its staff a family. Mia, the new hire, laughed as she restocked popcorn, her ease a symbol of Horizon's fresh start. Even Starflick's ads faltered, their discounts no match for Horizon's heart. Nathan joined Ava after the rush, the lobby quieting. "You're a leader now," he said, his tone warm. Ava's hands fidgeted. "I owe you everything," she said, her voice thick. Nathan shook his head. "You owe yourself. Keep shining." He stepped outside, the marquee glowing above. Ryan's article, Sarah's posts, the interview, they were proof that justice echoed. Claire texted, "Interviews trending. Customers sharing stories of kindness here." Next, Nathan's smile widened. Nationwide training. Let's inspire more. The city's lights stretched before him, a canvas of possibility. Derek's jabs, Starflicks. Taunts, they were fading against Horizon's truth. Nathan thought of his mother, of Ava's tears, of Sophie's loyalty. This wasn't just a theater, it was a movement. Horizon Cinemas was rewriting its story, one ticket, one act of trust at a time. The Seattle twilight painted Horizon Cinemas in hues of amber and indigo, the neon marquee glowing like a lighthouse against the evening sky, its hum a steady pulse in the cool air. Inside, the lobby buzzed with a gentle rush, the buttery scent of popcorn weaving through the laughter of customers and the soft clink of ticket scanners. Nathan Carter leaned against a polished counter, his casual sweater a quiet nod to the CEO who'd rewritten the theater's story, saving Ava Reynolds and Sofa Lynn from a desperate robbery and ousting Derek Malone's toxic reign. The air sparkled with hope-repaired seats, upgraded cameras, and a feedback board overflowing with notes like "Horizon feels like home." Nathan's sharp eyes followed Ava, now assistant manager, as she mentored a new hire with a confidence that hadn't existed weeks ago. Horizon Cinemas was a sanctuary, and Nathan was here to nurture its future. The theater's transformation had reshaped Seattle's cultural map. Ryan's viral article and Sarah's social media crusade had drawn crowds, their reviews eclipsing Starflix Cinema's fading discounts. Revenue soared, and the board, once wary, now hailed Nathan's policies, living wages, immediate health insurance, an emergency fund as industry benchmarks. Clara, the retired teacher, sat at her corner table, her tea steaming, her gray curls catching the light. She'd shared Horizon's story with her book club, their chatter filling a nearby booth, their tips generous. "This place is special now," she told Sophie, now security coordinator, who nodded, her tablet glowing with camera feeds. The theater wasn't just surviving, it was thriving, a testament to what fairness could achieve. Nathan approached Ava at the concession stand, her assistant manager badge gleaming. "You're a natural," he said, his tone warm. Ava blushed, her hands steady as she restocked popcorn. "I never thought I'd be here," she admitted, her voice soft. "After Eli's surgery, I thought we'd lose everything." Nathan's eyes softened, memories of his mother's debt-ridden nights surfacing. "You remind me of me," he said, leaning closer. "I was 18, mopping floors, dreaming of a better life. My boss gave me a chance. Now it's your turn." Ava's eyes widened. "I want to open a theater someday," she said, her voice tentative. "One that's accessible for kids like Eli." Nathan's smile was resolute. "Let's make it happen. I'll fund a business course for you, mentor you myself. Start here, learn the ropes." Ava's throat tightened, tears welling. "Why me?" she asked, her voice thick. Nathan's tone was firm. "Because you fought for Eli, for Sophie. That's the heart I want leading Horizon's future." Ava nodded, her dreams no longer distant. She thought of Eli, now recovering. His wheelchair no barrier to his smile. Nathan's offer was more than money. It was belief, a lifeline she'd repay with every shift. Sophie joined them, her security role a perfect fit, her confidence radiant. "New alert systems live," she said, showing Nathan her tablet. "No blind spots anymore." Nathan nodded, pride swelling. "You're keeping us safe, Sophie." "Ever thought about management?" Sophie laughed, her eyes bright. "Maybe someday. For now, I'm happy here." Nathan's gaze was warm. "You're already leading. Keep it up." He thought of his mother, saved by a theater owner's kindness, and knew Sophie's loyalty was Horizon's strength. Clara approached Ava, her teacup empty. "I told my students about you," she said, her voice rich with pride. "They're studying your story courage under pressure. You're an inspiration." Ava's cheeks flushed, her heart swelling. "I just wanted to save Eli," she said, her voice soft. Clara's smile was knowing. "And you saved this place too." The words landed deep. Ava's fear of failure fading. She glanced at Nathan, her resolve hardening. She'd make him proud. Nathan's phone buzzed. "Claire, board wants to expand your policies nationwide." Eli's mom, Grace, sent an email. Nathan opened it. Grace's words simple but powerful. "Thank you for saving my daughter, my son. Horizon gave us hope." He pinned the email to his office board, a reminder of why he fought. Mia, the new hire, worked the ticket counter, her laughter a symbol of Horizon's fresh start. Ethan, once crushed by Derek, now joked with customers, his hope restored. Even Starflix ads had vanished, their chain reeling as Horizon's reputation soared. Ava and Sophie led a staff meeting, the feedback board glowing behind them. "We're a family now," Ava said, her voice steady. "Speak up, support each other." Sophie added, "The emergency fund's there, no one faces debt alone." Ethan nodded, his eyes shining. Nathan watched, his chest warm. The theater was a community, its heart beating strong. Clara's book club lingered, one member snapping a photo of the feedback board, posting it online. Horizon Cinemas is proof. Kindness wins. Outside, Nathan stood under the marquee. The city's lights a canvas of possibility. Claire texted. Grace's emails going viral. Customers sharing their stories. Next move? Nathan's smile was determined. Mentorship program. Let's lift. More dreams. He thought of Ela, who'd visited the theater yesterday, his wheelchair gliding as he talked of becoming a doctor, inspired by Ava's fight. Ava was the future, Sophie the present, and Horizon the legacy. The lobby glowed, a beacon of second chances. Nathan Carter had fixed his corner of the world, not perfectly, but enough to spark a movement. The marquee hummed, and he walked into the night, ready to nurture the dreams Horizon had rekindled, one ticket, one story at a time. The Seattle night enveloped Horizon Cinemas in a velvet embrace, the neon marquee casting a radiant glow across the bustling parking lot, its hum a steadfast anthem in the crisp air. Inside, the lobby shimmered with life, the buttery scent of popcorn mingling with the laughter of customers and the soft whir of ticket scanners. Nathan Carter stood near the feedback board, his casual sweater a quiet echo of the CEO who'd walked these floors as a janitor, stopping a desperate robbery by Ava Reynolds and Sofa Lynn and dismantling Derek Malone's toxic empire. The theater, pulsed with purpose-repaired seats, gleaming counters, and notes pinned to the board. Horizon is family. And thank you for caring. Nathan's sharp eyes traced Ava, now assistant manager, training a new hire with poise, and Sophie, security coordinator, monitoring feeds with precision. Horizon Cinemas wasn't just a theater, it was a legacy, forged in courage and compassion. The transformation had reshaped the industry. Ryan's viral article, Sarah's social media advocacy, and Nathan's televised interview had made Horizon a beacon, its policies living wages, immediate health insurance, an emergency fund adopted by rival chains. Starflix Cinemas, once a taunting competitor, had shuttered locations, their discounts no match for Horizon's heart. Revenue soared, and the board, once skeptical, now championed Nathan's vision, rolling it out nationwide. Clara, the retired teacher, lingered at her corner table, her tea steaming, her gray curls catching the light. She'd brought her book club, their chatter a warm hum, their presence a testament to Horizon's community. You've built something extraordinary, she told Nathan, her voice rich with pride. Nathan approached Ava, her assistant manager badge a symbol of her journey. You're shaping this place, he said, his tone warm. Ava smiled, her confidence radiant. I'm starting that business course next week, she said, her voice steady. For Eli, for my dream theater. Nathan nodded, pride swelling. Eli, her 14-year-old brother, had visited yesterday, his wheelchair gliding as he talked of becoming a doctor, inspired by Ava's fight. You're already leading, Nathan said. Horizon's yours to carry forward. Ava's eye shone. Her debt to Vincent Russo paid, her small repayments to Nathan, a badge of dignity. Sophie joined them, her tablet glowing with security data. New hires are trained on the alert system, she said, her competence a far cry from the girl who'd risked jail. Nathan's smile was warm. You're the backbone here, Sophie. She blushed, her loyalty to Ava now a strength for all. Ethan, once crushed by Derek, worked the ticket counter, his laughter bright as he chatted with customers. Mia, the new hire, restocked popcorn, her ease a spark of Horizon's renewal. Even Derek's bitter posts had faded, his threats empty against the theater's triumph. At a national cinema conference, Nathan stood before a packed auditorium, his voice resonant. Horizon failed its people, he said, his eyes sweeping. The crowd of executives. We ignored their struggles, let a tyrant thrive, but we listened, acted, rebuilt. Fairness isn't a cost, it's our foundation. The room erupted in applause. Competitors scribbling notes, inspired to audit their own chains. A young manager approached Nathan after, her voice eager. "Your story changed how I see my staff," she said. Nathan's smile echoed his mother's memory, saved by a theater owner's kindness. "Start with trust," he told her. "It's everything." Back at Horizon, Ava trained Mia, her voice clear. "Every customer matters," she said, her leadership natural. Eli, visiting again, wheeled to her side, his eyes bright. "You're my hero, Ava," he said, his doctor dream alive. Sophie passed by, her tablet steady, her role vital. Clara's book club lingered, one member posting online. Horizon's story is hope in action. Grace, Ava's mother, had emailed again. "You gave us a future. Thank you." Nathan kept it pinned, a reminder of his mission. Nathan stood under the marquee. The city's lights a tapestry of dreams. Claire texted. Conference speech trending. Industry shifting. What's next? Nathan's reply was firm. Scholarships for employees' families. Let's lift Morales. The theater was a movement. Its policies a blueprint for change. Ava's dream theater, Sophie's leadership, Eli's ambition, they were Horizon's legacy. Proof that compassion could triumph. The lobby glowed, a sanctuary of second chances. Nathan Carter had rebuilt his corner of the world, not perfectly, but enough to inspire. The marquee hummed, its light a promise kept for every employee, every customer, every story that mattered. Nathan Carter's story is a testament to the power of empathy, a clarion call that leadership thrives on compassion, not control. At its heart, it champions humanistic values. Every person deserves dignity, every struggle merits understanding, and every mistake can spark redemption. Nathan's undercover mission saving Ava and Sophie, dismantling Derek's cruelty, rebuilding. Horizon shows that fairness is a choice, forged in courage and accountability. His actions echo a truth. Businesses aren't just profits. They're communities, where trust transforms lives. The lessons are profound. First, empathy drives change. Nathan's past fueled his resolve to help, not harm. Second, leadership means lifting others. Mentoring Ava and Sophie built a stronger future. Third, every voice counts. Clara's witness, Grace's gratitude, Sarah's advocacy shaped Horizon's rebirth. Finally, redemption is possible. Ava and Sophie's second. Chance proves mistakes don't define us. This story challenges us. How do you show compassion in your world? Share your experiences below. Have you ever turned a crisis into hope? Your story could inspire others. If Horizon's journey moved you, join Legacy Stories for more tales of justice, resilience, and humanity. Subscribe, hit the bell, and become part of a community celebrating the legacies that make us whole. Thank you for reading, and we'll see you in the next story.